My mic has been off the entire time, hasn't it?
Yeah.
All right, there we go. Sorry. Anyway, welcome to the Channel Tennessee podcast. It's May the 12th, 2025. We got a lot to get into. Sorry for the technical difficulties with the podcast right there. But Tennessee loses its fourth straight series in baseball. It's not good. We need to really quickly change the things of how we are playing and the errors and all of the things. We'll get into that. We'll talk about that. And Adam Sparks from Knox News has an article that just came out that he wrote today about revenue sharing in sports and in college, and sounds like Tennessee's about to start doing revenue sharing in their athletic department. And
July 1st.
July 1st, and we will dive into that. But anyway, Austin, how we doing, man? It's been a long weekend, and we are here on Monday to do our show. What's up? What's going on?
What's up, man? Hey, do you hear me well?
Yeah, you're good. You're
Okay,
good. We
sure.
had some weird things happen right there at the
Okay,
beginning.
just make
We're
sure
good.
my mic is all good.
We're good.
And speaking of things that are all good, Tennessee baseball is not. We dropped 2 out of 3 for, I think, the thousandth series in a row. It's a common theme. Hey, this Liam Doyle guy, he's the best pitcher in college baseball.
Mhm.
You're probably going to win when that guy starts. Outside of that, your bullpen's kind of bad. You leave runners on base. You have errors out the ass. You let guys steal bases more than any team in the SEC since 2015. I mean, we won the national championship. I thank God. This would all be so miserable if that were not the case. But just a little tough spot.
Yeah, we're not
Sucks.
looking too hot. It's for me in life in sports. I've been watching sports for a long time, and for me, when we lose, a game, it's a lot easier to stomach it when you're there and watching it in person than it is when I'm watching it on TV. But this weekend was kind of the first time where I was at the game and I had to get out of my seat and walk around. I couldn't watch it. I was getting very, very angry. And it's that nothing makes me more mad when you look up and it's the same thing happening over and over again. It's just like it never is fixed. And I know, don't get me wrong, they've probably worked on these things a million times. It seems like it's not really being worked on hard enough. But I'm not part of the team and whatever. But it just looks that way. So this past weekend against Vanderbilt, you mentioned it. Liam Doyle came out, best pitcher in the country. It's not even close in my opinion. He's a freaking monster.
Best pitcher we've had here ever under Tony V. I'm just gonna
Yes.
say it.
I agree. I think you're correct as that. I mean, that statement I think is correct. But when I look up on the second game of the series on Saturday afternoon, and every time I look up, there is a man standing on second base. If Vandy player got to first base, he was going to be on second. Just already put him on second. They were already on second. Every time I looked up, and my seats are right next to the first base line. You know where I sit. Well, I'm looking directly at first base.
You go to baseball games?
Yeah, I do. But I'm looking straight at it. And every time I look up, a guy's just take it off. And you know how frustrating that is when you're looking straight at it and it's happening over and over and constantly happening. That's what's frustrating about watching Tennessee baseball right now. It's not any particular player. It's not anyone really. It's a collection of just mistakes, errors, and not being able to do the little things correct. And I thought we would have it kind of figured out by this point of the season, but this is the first time, and I told you this weekend, this is the first time where I've seen a Tony Vitello team be really good and then decline. Usually it's the other way around. If they're not very good, they get better. But this is the first time I've ever seen a Tony V team that has declined the entire season. Do you agree with that?
Yeah. It's weird. You want to believe it's just a rough patch at first. Because you're riding pretty high. Sweep Florida, sweep South Carolina, 2 out of 3 against Alabama. Then you have, okay, it really does feel like the season peaked. We ruled A&M on night one, and you're feeling, I mean, we have one SEC loss at that point, I believe. And you're just feeling like, yep, it's a ho-hum series. We're everything's normal. We're gonna kick some ass some more this weekend. And then we lose 2 straight in the doubleheader. And we came on this podcast and told you, well, it's not that bad. It's not that big a deal. It's just right now. And these things happen in baseball. And then we won 2 out of 3 in Oxford against Ole Miss, and we thought, okay, we're back to it. We're back to who we were. All right, let's get going now. Then we dropped 2 out of 3 Kentucky. And you hit the brakes a little bit. You're like, whoa, we just lost to who? The Nick Mingione Kentucky Wildcats, the softball team. Oh, that's weird. We won night one, pretty easy, and then just let them kick our ass day 2 and day 3. Didn't show much life. So that sucked. Okay, well, we rolled on to at LSU, and night one we go up 3-0. Liam Doyle straight freaking gas. The guy is the best pitcher in America. I'll say it again for those who can't hear in the back. He kicks ass, and we have 1 out, 9th inning, and the little dribbler comes to Dean Curley. He drops it. Guy gets on base. Okay, whatever. Walk. Another ball right to Dean Curley. Hey, honestly, maybe you can turn this to 2. But he drops it and bases are loaded. Or maybe just 2 on. Yeah, okay.
It was,
I think
it was something like that. It was close to that. Yeah.
Anyways,
we get it.
I'm not gonna go play on play because it was like a month ago, nearly. But we're up 3-0 with 1 out in the 9th inning, no one on, and we blow that game. And then we win night 2. Actually, looked really great in night 2, 9-3 win. Get our ass kicked on day 3. But I was saying to myself after that series, well, we should have won 2 out of 3 at LSU, which would have been a great result for any team. And that's what should have happened. So I'm not feeling that bad. Okay. It was just a little hiccup in the 9th inning that cost us that game. And then we go lose 2 out of 3 against Auburn, blah, blah, blah. And then we come into this weekend. And I mean, I'll give us a little credit here. We did show more fight than we had in some of the other series. I did feel like a few moments in this series, you did feel like, okay, this is Tennessee baseball. We got the energy back. We got our confidence back. We're cashing in with guys on. We're getting multiple home runs from players in single games. You felt good in some spots, but still, losing 2 out of 3 to the freaking Commodores is not okay in Lindsey Nelson Stadium. And yeah, we let a billion guys steal. Tony addressed City, said if Phillips lets this keep happening, he's not going to start anymore, or he's not going to pitch anymore. So hopefully that is going to be a higher point of emphasis. But now we're staring in the face of 15-12 SEC record with 1 series left in the season, and then a trip to Hoover. And yeah, I mean, the season, it's not like the season is over. If the season ended today, you would be a regional host, not a super regional host, but you would host a regional, which I don't even know. Do I want to see this team play more baseball at Lindsey Nelson Stadium? I don't know. Apparently that's a very bad thing for them. But
yeah,
season's not over. You can still turn it around. It's just it's not a great spot, man.
No, it's not. And I don't know if I necessarily agree with you saying they can turn it around, because I mean, when you're this late in the season, you're still doing the same mistakes. And I don't know. Baseball is weird. We've said it a million times on here. I just I don't see any changes. And the whole Tony comes out after the game is over, and he kind of jumped on Phillips there, And that did kind of make me mad. I don't know if you noticed, not just him like not getting out of the way when the catcher's trying to throw it to second when someone's stealing for the 950th time in the game. But when Phillips is trying to pick someone off like at first, did you see how he was kind of throwing it? It was just like nonchalant, just very just like he's playing backyard ball. Like I'm just doing this to let him know that I see him over there, but he's not really trying much. It looks like he's just kind of like he didn't want to be out there, kind of. I know that's not true, but I just that's what it felt like. And then when Tony comes out and basically calls you out, like I hope it wakes him up because he's a really talented pitcher. Like he's a really talented player. Like
Kid's got straight gas.
yes, he does. He dude can launch it, man. He can launch it. But you know, you can see the frustration in Tony. You can see the frustration of him just play by play, just to look at his face like you got to be kidding me. Like, come on, guys. Like, I don't know what it is. Do you think? Me and my wife have talked about this all season long, and it does kind of tick me off. Stop changing the lineup around this much. Like you should have kind of a concrete set lineup. And I know that a lot of in baseball you change the lineup around, but I feel like no team changes it up as much as we've done it this year. And it's every game. Someone's in a different spot, it feels like. And like in my opinion, you can't get in a rhythm when you're in a different spot all the time.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe it is too much. I mean, I yeah, maybe. I don't know. I don't know.
Chris comments and says, "Do y'all think the pressure to repeat is what we're seeing?" Basically, he's
No.
is the pressure. No. Tony kind of said something like that earlier, though, in a presser. Well, what Chris just commented, Tony did kind of say something along the lines of they thought they were too good, and then they're getting popped in the mouth, and I think it is one of those things of like, oh, we're the reigning national champions. We're better than you. Cause Tony basically said it. He said it without saying it of we have the hangover. They think they're better and they're just simply not right now. He basically said that without saying it.
Maybe. I never really consider that because the guys who were the best on this team aren't here anymore. So it's hard for me to say, like, I guess those are expectations. I mean, this is kind of it's funny because I've literally never experienced a team where I had to think like that. Like, oh,
yeah.
They won the national championship last year. Pressure to repeat.
Yeah.
Like, and it's not normal to repeat in college baseball. I can only think of one time since I've been following college baseball, and that was South Carolina in 2010. So
yeah,
it could happen, sure, but it's like not very likely because usually those are senior laden teams that lead those charges. But I mean, this team, it's wild, man. It just feels like Tennessee is in a season where, like, if you just felt how it feels like to be in this fan base right now and following this team, you would say so. Tennessee isn't going to play in any postseason. It's all over, right? No. We're gonna host a regional, probably.
Well, I mean, you probably have to win at Arkansas to do that.
I think they'll win the Doyle start. That and we'll get into it later, but that is my philosophy on that game. You got to go balls to wall with the Doyle start. You just got to win one game, and maybe even win one. I mean, maybe just winning one in Hoover would do the job. Currently, I think we're like number 11. I don't know what 3 losses that aren't bad would do that, but we'll see.
Didn't Vandy do it backwards? Didn't they start their best pitcher on Sunday?
I don't think I
think he had like the most like punch outs of like any pitcher on the team or something like that. Like in his all of his starts, he had like 79 punch outs in like 39 innings or something like that. It was crazy.
The guy on Friday looked better, but
yeah, I'm not sure how they did it, but we have a problem in the bullpen. So it's you're either going to get a couple guys that play pretty well, or it's just going to be a rotation of feels like average. But I don't know. We set up here on this podcast. Do you remember asking me the question? What do you think is the biggest problem. That's going to be the biggest problem with his team this year. And I can't. I think I said it was going to be fielding, which has been a problem. Fielding
it's been a bad problem.
Has been a problem. And you said pitching, and so for both of us to be right, that's kind of that's eye opening a little bit. But it hasn't been like you look at our. That's what you just said. Like you look at our record, and then you look around the country, and it's not much different from all the good teams. But it's just how we've done it. It's the eyeball test we always say, it's how we've looked. The what have you done for me lately look is lately does not look good. But on the flip side, if you just clean up a couple of those errors, like you probably win the series.
You win the Sunday game if you don't just absolutely shit the bed on in that first inning, and if you could just get a little better relief work. I mean, 5 runs. I mean, it's not an amazing game, but it's not a terrible game for your bats. I will say though, uh, how low has our standards gone for the bats? Like we scored 5 runs against Vandy on Sunday, and I felt I found myself saying, man, the pitching screwed us. When in reality, I mean, you're facing the worst pitching Vandy has, and this is Tennessee baseball at home. We score like 10 and 11 runs in those spots. Where is those games?
I'm gonna get to that right now. Oh, I want to answer Nico's question that's commented. What if Doyle has a hiccup game though? And we're getting towards the end of the season where you don't need to have a hiccup game from him, or like you can be done. And he said it's bound to happen, which it is. It's bound to happen. But he hadn't really had one yet.
He said one, and that was Alabama.
Yeah.
Even then, he settled down and kicked ass after that.
Yeah, he settled down though. That's what I mean. Like he didn't have it wasn't like a terrible game where he is just letting people just tee off on him. But yeah, I mean that is a concern if he has an off game. Like when you get to the regionals or something like that, then you're kind of screwed.
I love the fact that we're like, oh, everything on this team is not playing well. And someone says, what if the one guy who's playing well doesn't play well?
Yeah.
Well, fuck everything then. I mean, that's one thing we have. Like, if they take the one thing we have right now, we're kind of screwed, okay? No crap. That's where I'm at.
But to get back to what you're saying,
it reminds me of sorry, I got a comment this weekend.
You're good.
And someone said, man, it just seems like we only play well on Tuesday and Friday. Yeah, Tuesday we're playing a JUCO team, and on Friday we had the best pitcher in America pitching for us. We do struggle outside those 2 days. I'll agree with you there. There's a bit of science there. I don't know if you know this, but when you have the best pitcher in America on one night and the other team is like a high school, that's a little different. But yeah, Saturday and Sunday are big bugaboos. Because no Liam Doyle and no West Georgia on those nights.
You mentioned the bats. That we don't have the bats. I'm going to disagree with you. We don't have the home runs, and I guess that's what you kind of mean, home runs.
Yeah.
But we don't have the home runs like we've had, but we still got the bats. Because you know why we still got the bats? Because last game we left 12 stranded on base, and we had a series earlier a couple months ago. Or a month ago, when we left 12 stranded on base. We leave, and it was, I think, before the rain delay happened, it was 7 or 8 people stranded on base already. And that's the reason Vandy and all these teams beat us, because they get a guy on the corner and they bring him in. Now, to your thing about the bats not being hot, we're getting a lot of hits and we're getting on base. We can't get the people in. I don't understand that part, because we can get all these people on base, but when we get people on base, the bats will disappear. But they weren't disappearing before we didn't have anybody on base. That's the frustrating part to me.
And I'll give you this. Maybe you could argue the changing of the lineups is why that's happened. Maybe they because that's kind of like a rhythm thing.
It
You
is.
get your buddy on your buddy gets on base. It's time for you to respond, and it's a bit of like, it's like we've done this a million times. Let me get Freddie in. Let me get whatever his name is in. I'm
Yeah.
not actually naming players. I'm just trying to
Yeah,
put
we good.
generic names out there. But that's kind of how it's supposed to go. But because of our lack of chemistry there, you could argue it's just kind of like an individual basis. Like it's not like guys who develop that kind of rhythm. It's guys who just go up to the plate and think, "Oh, there's a guy in second, but I can work a walk. I'm gonna try to work a walk." And even
It,
if they do, the next guy can come up and strike out. I feel like that was a lot of time.
mhm,
Sometimes I felt like that. Sometimes I felt like, okay, we got a runner on second and a great hitter at bat.
mhm.
Then they walk that hitter, and then the next guy comes up. He's not as great, and he, pops out. I feel like that was a lot of what we did, and I don't know what to say about that because it's not like I'm like, oh, you can't take that walk. You gotta try and foul it off and keep fighting for a pitch you can hit. That's that's kind of dumb. That's how you strike out. Um,
The bunt
and
was baffling.
I don't
The
know what
the bunt was baffling. You were hot. Your bats were hot. Speaking of hot bats, your bats were hot, and
who
you come
was
up
that?
there.
Was that number
Was
14?
it wasn't Reese? Was it? It wasn't Reese. I can't
I don't
exactly.
I can't remember Reese playing much this weekend at all.
Oh, it was. It was a. I'm pretty sure it's DH. I'm not sure who was doing it, but
Was it Hunter High?
I don't. I honestly
Oh,
can't remember. Yeah,
Grimmer.
Blake. Yeah, it was Blake Grimmer. It was Blake Grimmer. Um, but he comes up there and looks like he's gonna swing at the ball for the first couple of pitches, and then he rears back and goes for a bunt, and the catcher it pops up, and the catcher catches it and just completely tears down the inning. That's what a situational thing where it kind of made me angry because you were hitting fine, you were hitting great, you had him on the ropes, and that completely killed every bit of having them on the ropes. That one single moment, and
I heard
and there was just a grumble in the crowd, like like really, like that kind of thing. So yeah.
I heard a lot of people saying this weekend Tennessee got out coached, and I never say that, but I agree here. I agree they got out
Yeah.
coached. Why did I mean you could argue Tennessee would have got more outs if they were the ones doing the shift. Did we beat the shift one time? I mean, did we
I don't
like
seem like
hit
it
to
not.
where I can't remember one time where we hit to where the players weren't or like truly beat the shift. So
Why don't we
you could
do that
argue
more? We don't shift hardly ever.
as much as people hate about Tennessee being brash and young and whatnot, we're actually more of an old school team than most.
Uh-huh.
We
Yeah.
believe in old school values, but I would definitely be a fan of incorporating it until they ban it because
So teams using it on us
if
24/7. Teams love using it on us.
if
They
you're not
should not.
trying, then that's just pure effort. I mean,
Yeah.
you could argue it's respect to the game of baseball, but dude, if there's any adjustments, I want to do everything in our power to win,
Mhm.
and that in my mind is
Everything in
something,
your power. Yeah.
and it's not really hard to do. It's just like, okay, what's this guy's spray chart? Let's play to that. Hey,
Mhm.
here's a call. Here's a call. Go
Mhm.
there. And guess what? You'll get more outs than you do hits. You'll
Mhm.
eliminate some hits that guy got,
Let's
and
go.
equals less runs on the board. Maybe you win that Sunday game. I don't know. That's
Yeah.
a hard to calculate all that, but
Let's
anytime you take guys off base, it helps.
yeah. No, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, true. Let's shift to our buddy Chris Phillips' comment on SEC Unfiltered. I don't know if any of y'all have seen that, but break that down also what he said because I'm gonna agree with him. I don't know if you
So
do or not, but I do.
no. So he has a big gripe with the way Tennessee behaves. We still have that Tennessee baseball attitude, despite the fact that we are losing baseball games. What is your take there?
It pissed me off when we lost to Vandy, and then we're trying to clear the dugouts. And
Yeah, I didn't like that.
and it pissed me off too when a player hit a home run and then immediately started talking crap, and we were still losing. That is what makes me angry. Stop the chirping when you're losing. It's annoying. It really is annoying. Now, if you're winning, in my opinion, you're winning, I love it. I want you to talk crap all day long. I want a head coach like Antonio Vitello that is going to chirp his ass off and piss everyone off. I agree with the whole don't chirp when you're losing. I agree with that. It's very annoying to me.
Didn't the home run give us a lead?
No, it did not. We were still down. Still down to we were down 6-5. But you have you have
Oh, I was thinking about the Saturday one.
in those moments you have the it's just you can't do like that gets on my nerves. Like I'm not going to sit here and lose a freaking basketball game to the same person or the same people, 4 weeks in a row. And still, I'm not going to be talking garbage. Like I need to do something to fix my game because that's not playing very well. But on the other hand, I want my teams to talk all the trash in the world. Has always been my gripe about like Rick Barnes and stuff like that. I want you to get mad. I want you to get mad. I don't mind you getting mad. I love when my team gets mad and pissed off. But show it on the field. Get mad and get pissed off on the field. Because when they ran out of that dugout at the very end of the game, when Vandy, right after we hit our home run, Vandy just knocks them out of the park too and just takes another 2-point lead or two-run lead. And then you come out of the dugout after that. It's just like, man, just go. Like, just stop. It's not fun. And it made me mad. Like, I literally looked at that TV because we went home after the rain delay. And I said, get back in the dugout. Like, just go back. To me, that's annoying because we're sitting there chirping and like you just lost. And to me, that's kind of embarrassing. I don't know.
You do have a point there. Okay.
Yeah.
My thing, people got mad at what's his name? Fisher for talking smack after he hit the home run on Saturday that gave us the, I think, 2-1 lead. And my response was just like, this is Tennessee baseball, dude. I know we might not be experiencing the same amount of success we had in previous regimes, but when you have a team coached by Tony Vitello, that's just kind of how you play. And the minute they stopped playing with any attitude is when I am actually worried about the program, because that means they have a little less the spirit of the teams of the past. I kind of like seeing life. I like seeing life.
There's a difference though. Those are two different things though. What you're explaining right now.
But you remember when the 2020 season happened and nothing we did in football. We were just dead in the sideline, no energy whatsoever.
Oh yeah,
just like that's the world. I get it, but I get what you're saying.
We're not talking about the same thing though. Like you hit a home run, the game was tied. You hit a home run, yeah, talk crap. The series is tied. Talk crap. I like it. I like what you just said. That makes sense. But when you lose, it stops. Like you look dumb. It looks dumb. It looks bad. Not
looks
bad.
Dumb.
It looks
dumb. It is.
It just looks. Ugh, I don't like it.
Okay, what do you think about another thing I disagree with Chris Phillips on and a few other people? If a guy talks smack after hitting a home run, do you think that guy should get drilled in the head on his next at bat?
No, that's part of the sport.
What?
Like smack talk is a part of the sport. You can smack talk within a game. That's my point. You can smack talk in the middle of a game. That is a part of sports. You look at any sport, anytime you can get on ESPN, watch their networks, Fox, anything. The people that are mic'd up, they talk trash the whole time they play any type of game. Football, basketball, baseball. People are talking crap nonstop.
Yeah. But traditionally in baseball, I disagree with this, by the way. But historically in baseball, if you do that, next time you're at bat, you're getting one to the shoulder or head or gut.
Oh yeah,
Uh,
probably.
and do you think that should be allowed?
You can't say they did it on purpose. So you
Yeah, you
just
can.
you can. I mean, you can. I mean, umps have
Usually,
to,
if a
umps have
guy
to
does
keep it
that,
out.
if a guy throws the pitcher's getting thrown out of the game.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of times umps will like toss guys. Like, okay, that was on purpose because it's been brewing and building, and the ump sees that. And you know, I, I don't know. I've got that attitude of where someone's talking crap to me. I'm like, I'm gonna want to drill them with the ball.
Well, here's my thing. Here's what my response is to all that. Like a lot. Okay, this should not be a part of the game, in my personal opinion. I get why it is. It's a bit of you policing the game yourself. Blah blah blah. But dude, if these guys are throwing 90 miles per hour, every single pitcher's throwing that. You could end a guy's career doing that. You could have a guy eating out of a tube for the rest of his life if you throw the ball at the wrong place. Here's why I suggest you do. If you strike him out, you talk as much smack as you want. If he hits a home run off you, he's gonna talk smack to you.
Oh yeah,
Maybe don't let your feelings result in putting a guy in the hospital. Maybe you have enough self control there. And here's the thing: like, what's the if the pitcher is free to go hit the guy because of that, then what the hell is the hitter gonna do when the pitcher's talking crap after striking him out?
yeah. Oh,
Nothing.
I love smack talk, man.
Yeah,
But I agree with you there. Like, I don't think I understand where they're coming from, the pitchers, because they're frustrated and they're pissed. And you're like, I've got a ball and I got a weapon basically, and
yeah,
I'm
it's a
gonna
weapon.
drill you. I'm gonna drill you. But then of course the batter also has a weapon and a bat. So it's like I just
Yeah, but it's totally acceptable for that
yeah.
hitter to go up and just beat
Yeah.
the living crap out of him.
Yeah, yeah.
That's not a part of the game apparently.
You just hack the freaking pitcher until he's done.
I mean, I've seen it, but it's not common.
Just off the pitcher. It's like,
It's pretty wild.
yeah. Oh, I've seen. Yeah,
I mean,
seen,
and I mean, if you're super talented, I guess you could hit a line drive straight at him. But
yeah,
it's not totally easy to pull that one off,
yeah.
as it is a pitcher just to throw one straight at his head. But
Mhm.
I mean, I've seen multiple guys get hit in the head with baseballs, and it's not good. And
Yeah.
I mean, I attended the game where Acuna had hit, like, I think it was a leadoff home run 3 games in a row. And I don't know if you know Ronald Acuna, he plays with a lot of swag. He likes to really swag it up. Like he's big on
Uh-huh.
that. And so on the game where he's going to set the record for most leadoff home runs in a row, he gets drilled on the first pitch. Um,
Uh-huh.
Bench is cleared. It's crazy. But I've just never. I get why it's a part of baseball,
Mhm.
but also that was built into the game kind of when guys were throwing 70-mile-per-hour fastballs.
Yeah.
I mean, in like the freaking 40s. Um, I just don't know if it's worth it nowadays. Like there's no way for me to justify a guy possibly getting incredibly injured just because he wanted to be a little cocky after he sent a ball to the upper deck. Um, but
Yeah.
that's where me and Chris Phillips disagreed.
Yeah.
And
Yeah. I didn't see that part under y'all's discussion, but I'm gonna go back with the whole like I love talking crap. Give me all the crap talkers in the world, but there is a time to talk crap, and the time they talk crap pissed me off because I was already angry, and then I watched them go after them start chirping again. It's like, dude, just it's time to go, man. Like you just gotta like it's. I was angry. The whole world was angry. That's just not the time to do it. But I agree. You get a home run, talk all the smack you want to, as long as it's a close game. I'm good with it. I'm good with it.
yeah, I guess here's where I'm at. I'm just like, it would worry me more if this team wasn't showing any energy or fight. Like, I kind of like to see them just show anything at that point because we're getting kind of late in the game, and it's just I think what you saw kind of was just with the benches clearing at the end of the game. I do think it's a bit of just frustrated energy, just
Well,
like
it
they're
it, it had been going on since Saturday. I mean, you saw it on Saturday, but you really, if you were at the game on Sunday, if you were at the game, you really felt it at the beginning because that crowd was hostile. The players were hostile. I'm pretty sure they both got warnings real quick.
Well, Hunter Inslee drills a ball into the a Vandy bench and the
Yeah.
crowd erupts. I mean, God
Yeah,
bless
yeah.
that's pretty brutal. I'm not gonna lie. That
Yes.
was a little dark. I'm not gonna lie. But-
He had a line just a line drive right at the Vandy's bench on the left side of the stadium, and the crowd starts cheering.
I was like, that's a little harsh. Okay, but
Yeah,
and what
yeah.
else? Vandy was mad because they had to go change jerseys because we decided to wear black. And we don't like Vanderbilt. We just don't like them. God, we ended up on the wrong side of this rivalry for once, but we completely own Vandy. I think we're now since 2022, I believe we're 15-6 against them, 15-5. So I mean, we've owned Vandy outside of this series since 2022. And do I think the rivalry is going to shift the other direction? No.
I think it's going to be very competitive until it's going to be very competitive as long as Corbin and Tony are there. Very competitive.
How old is Tim Corbin? Want to guess his age?
How old is Tim Corbin? I'm going to get like 63, 64.
You were right, 63.
Okay.
So maybe like 5 more years of Corbin.
We'll see.
That program's getting a little up. I mean, I literally saw Vandy fans saying it's definitely time for him to retire back in March.
Yeah.
Then this team kind of turned it around.
And here's
personally, I love kicking their ass.
Uh-huh.
I know this season's gone the way it has. Blah blah blah. It's not over, by the way. But I think Tennessee baseball will be back and we'll have a lot of fun.
It hasn't gone anywhere. That's the thing. We're making dumb errors. It's still good.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. It's like you just correct the stupid stuff and you're fine. Like that's the weird thing. But the thing that's worrisome is it's been 4 straight series where the stupid stuff has continued to happen. And that's what the frustrating part is. And the other frustrating part, again, let's talk about what we've been talking about the other fans and talking about how we're trash and all that stuff. The people that are like, you were a one-hit wonder last year, all that stuff. You're not even that good. Dude, you could disagree all you want to. Just because we haven't won a natty every single year. We have been the alpha of college baseball for the past 5-6 years.
By every metric, in terms of wins, home runs, College World Series, no one can disagree with the fact that Tennessee is the best program in this sport since 2020. In the last over 5 years now, Tennessee is the best program in college baseball in terms of success, just overall success.
And get mad all you want to. Like people get mad all they want to, but I'm going to say a statement that is true and everyone knows it's true that is a part of the opposing fan bases. You were not paying attention to college baseball until Tennessee got good because they started to piss you the hell off.
I can't say that.
I can. No one paid attention to college baseball like they pay attention to it now. Like no one. They buddy.
I'm not going to say that.
You don't think Tennessee has a big factor of baseball viewership?
You're out of your mind. Well, I'm not gonna. A lot of these people are diehard LSU, diehard Vandy, diehard South Carolina.
I'm talking about just the average fan jumping in the mix of talking crap and trash. Those people were not there. They're all here now. Like when you play Tennessee, they all come. They all come.
Yes,
because they.
I will say like
they hate you.
If I would describe what Tennessee baseball has been to college baseball, it is very, very similar to Miami in the 1980s. I'm not going to say they built the sport. That's a little too much for me.
That's not what I said.
Oh, no, but
it's not even close to what I said.
You're saying the sport is like a lot more popular because of Tennessee. And I agree. I agree with that. It is more popular.
Because everyone talks about Tennessee now. Everyone.
Oh, we're hated.
That makes it more popular.
We are hated. It's crazy, man. Like if this was any other program in a situation like this, no one really, I mean, it doesn't really move much of a needle. But because it's Tennessee clearing the benches after losing their fourth home series in a row,
Mhm.
this is going to get headlines because people freaking hate this program, especially
Exactly.
LSU, especially Vandy. I mean,
But you
it's
get you get what I mean when I say that.
yes, I do.
Yes. So it's like we are bringing more eyes to the sport because people hate our guts.
I agree that it's definitely something people talk about, and it's a big point. It's helped a lot. It's helped the sport a lot. There's no. I will say this: in the last 10 years, or last 15 years, I'd say no program has helped the sport grow more than Tennessee.
Yes, that's
That
exactly what I mean.
yeah
Exactly what I mean.
yeah.
Those people that weren't watching baseball, including our own fan base, are now watching baseball because
Sorry.
Tennessee is they are gritty, they are aggressive, they were getting, and there's been coaches and teams that have done this in the past, of course. 100 there have been gritty and obnoxious teams in the past, but Tennessee, I feel like, has taken it to another level. Like they're like the Fab Five of Michigan back in the day. It's like, oh, this is something new. This is
Yes.
different. It's different, and people get pissed when they see something different. They don't like different.
If the sport of college baseball ended today, you could never tell the story of college baseball without talking about the Tony Vitello Tennessee Volunteers. I
Yeah,
can promise you that. This is right now, Tennessee baseball is defining this current era.
they're the bad boys.
They are the team of the 2020s
Yeah,
so far.
they're
And
the bad boys.
honestly, you could argue it's a stronger force than I mean, Skip Berkman's LSU Tigers were pretty defining, but and they're so hated. Like it reminds me of Florida under Steve Spurrier. It reminds me of
Yeah.
Miami football. It reminds me of
Okay.
yeah,
So
like you said, the Bad
this
Boys, the Fab Five,
that
uh,
Steve Spurrier comparison right
Pistons.
there, the Steve Spurrier comparison, Austin, is a nail on the head because Tony Vitello has so much Steve Spurrier in him. Not like it's like creepiness, like Steve Spurrier, but he has an attitude. Steve Spurrier brought a new attitude to the sport. And what happened? The Tennessee Florida rivalry got really big, really fast because it used to be Tennessee versus Alabama. That was the big one. It's kind of shifted. Everyone hates Florida during that time. The whole world. They hated them. They hated them because Steve
Mhm.
Spurrier was such a dick. And
He
Tony
was
Vitello is the same way.
can't spell scissors to that UT.
Yeah, exactly. And
I
it's
would
just,
say though, crazy enough, I would say Vitello has more respect for his opponents than Spurrier had.
yeah, well, Spurrier just didn't care.
Even though people like to act like Tony Vitello is the worst thing to happen to baseball, the guy actually respects his opponents. He just his emotions get a little out of hand at times. That's the only thing I'd
But so
say.
does, but this
But that's
narrative,
why I love him.
I know, but it's again, this narrative of it's only him is crazy to me. You can turn on ESPN2, ESPN News during the weekend, and there is a college baseball coach losing his mind in the dugout and getting tossed. It's every weekend. But for some odd reason, you see all these comments when it talks about Tony and the Vols, all these comments like this is every single week. I'm like, dude, that is so far from the truth. They're like, he does this every week. It's every time he gets out there. No, it's not. Stop.
I agree, but I would bet good money Tony Vitello gets tossed at some point this weekend.
Oh, no,
This
because
man is on a razor's edge right now. I look at him, man. Look on his face. He is not okay right now. That man is not okay.
he's not okay. He's not okay. Oh, Dr. Good to see Austin wearing his orange out gear. So it's but people act like it's only Tennessee that does it. It's wild to me. They're like, this is the same thing that happens every single weekend. No, it's not.
You know what's funny though? If you do that crap a lot and you're not that substantially great,
No one cares.
no one cares.
No one
But
cares.
because Tennessee did it, built up a fan base and won a national title, experienced a great deal of success. That's crazy, man.
Mhm.
We had the 22 season. land flat on its face against Notre Dame, and then we followed it up with an Omaha trip and then a national championship.
Mm-hmm.
We what a freaking 4 year stretch, man. I mean, this team occasionally it does remind me of those teams, but at times it just feels like something's off with them. I don't know. I do still feel like this is Tony Vitello baseball.
I think it's the rotation that's throwing them off because I'm gonna tell you one thing, and then I want to move on to this article.
You mean the lineup or the starters?
The lineup. My bad. Not that's what I meant. I'm gonna say this one thing, then I'll move on to this article. But never have I seen under Tony Vitello his teams in the outfield. I've never seen so many players almost run into each other. That's never happened. I've never seen that before. It's every game. Like, and there's people in the outfield in different positions every game. It's different players. They're in right field, they're in center, they're in left. They moved them to, they move them around so much that there's no communication and chemistry, it seems like. And like
I'll say
watching it, like
there's never been a period in Tennessee baseball where we've had this. I mean, I could be wrong because we didn't make the tournament 1 year under Tony V, but I don't think we've ever lost 5 out of 6 series under Tony, and which maybe it's 4 out of 5. I think it might just be 4 out of 5. Whatever,
4 out of 5.
whatever. This is the fastest we've ever kind of experienced a great deal losing all meshed together like that much of it, like a 40-day period that bad. And I think Tony's kind of not used to that. I think he's having a hard time adjusting, and I think it's a reflection of just like a lack of the players that just kind of sustain the program to a point where it doesn't get that low. And
well, you don't have any major leaders. You don't have you don't have the Blake Burks, the Christian Moores, you don't have those guys anymore. Those guys would fire a fire on your ass if you they were the locker room guys.
I agree. Also, I've been thinking about it a little deeper though, like because Fisher's great, Keelan's great, Hunter Ensley's great. Past that though, it's a little hit or miss and more miss than hit. So I think that is where you really feel it. I think you got 3 great guys in this squad. But in Curley, okay, I'll say you got 4 solid guys, but the rest of them, I mean, I'm not saying those 4 don't ever have bad games, but I'm just saying like
you don't have the Kavaris Tears. You don't have the Kavaris Tearses. You don't have
the
guys.
Dylan Dreiling.
You don't have those.
I mean, Hunter Ensley. I love Hunter Ensley.
God, he's so much fun.
But he was like the 5th or 6th best hitter on the team last year.
Yeah.
And he's not that much different now. It's just
he's just a smart ball player.
Those other guys aren't here though to kind of like add to it. Because baseball is all about getting on base and getting driven in to score. So Bargo's done great. I'll get Bargo. It's weird. It's weird. I will say this. I feel like they're this close sometimes. I really do feel like they're this close. Like it just takes a little more stepping up.
There are a couple. I'm telling you, there are a couple of errors every game away from winning the games. Stop making boneheaded errors, and this goes away.
How hilarious will this all be if we're sitting in Omaha?
That'd be really funny.
I'll laugh so hard. Oh my God, I'm going to talk as much smack as one man can. It'll be a week full of just replying to everyone I've ever interacted with because Vandy is gonna screw it up. Oh please, someone's gonna probably clip that, but whatever.
Oh, that's fine. Let him clip it.
Let him clip it.
All right.
Sorry, I'm just reflecting on what you've done the past like 5 years. It's been falling on your face against programs I've never heard of. So whatever.
All right. Adam Sparks wrote an article for Knox News about revenue sharing in Tennessee college athletics. He basically just Spark Notes here basically said Tennessee's basically had
Notes for Adam Sparks.
Yeah, get it? You caught that one. But it basically says Tennessee has been well earned identity as basically an everything school at Tennessee. All 20 Tennessee programs reached the NCAA postseasons or a bowl game in 2023 2024, which is absolutely nuts when you think about it. All 20 Tennessee programs made it to the postseason. Every one of them. He says UT has won the SEC All Sports Trophy 3 straight times. So that means when you're basically ranked the best complete program for those.
We've been kicking ass at everything.
Yes. But he says, but as challenging as it is or was to earn the everything school reputation, it's about to become more difficult to uphold with the revenue sharing era coming, basically July 1st for Tennessee. It's not a competitive issue on the field or court. It's a potential player payroll problem. So basically what they're saying, revenue sharing, the more money that your sport collects, that's where the money is going to go to. And you're going to be paid off based off your performance, basically. Yes. So that's basically, so right now they have a fake percentages. He has what he thinks it could look like. And 75% of the money to football players, 15% to men's basketball, 5% to women's basketball, and the other 5% to other sports, including baseball. So basically, it's going to be like the Ohio State effect, basically, where they put all the money into football.
To clarify, the collectives will still be a thing. You'll still get money through Spire. That there still is other NIL opportunities, but this is the money that comes directly from UT, like ticket sales, the talent fee that is added to all the season tickets. This is what that money is going towards. They starting July 1st.
Yeah, it starts July 1st. So basically, we all know people can say what they want, but football is king in Knoxville. So that's going to be your biggest revenue maker, of course, because we have one of the biggest stadiums in college football. You're going to have a lot of ticket sales. You're going to have a lot of everything sales when it goes in, like, pertains.
The TV contracts are the highest there.
Yeah, exactly.
It is. Let's be fair. College football is why college sports is what it is. It's where the money comes from, usually.
And then you got 75%, they're saying football, 15% men's basketball, and then 5% women's basketball and baseball, basically. So out of all of those sports, do you think that would be that is the correct way right there?
No.
Football, basketball, baseball.
Oh, I think, those should be the top 3. I think those should be the top 3.
Because that's what's in order right there.
Oh, I thought they put women's basketball ahead of baseball.
No, it's like in this about it's in the same percentage group. Each of those are going to get 5%. So 5% to other sports.
I thought they did. When I saw the graph, it was football 75, 15 basketball, and 5% women's basketball, and then
women, and then 5% to others, all the other sports, including baseball. So 5% for all the other sports, including baseball. So women's gets the same amount.
So probably how that would work out is 2.5% to baseball and 5% to women's basketball. No, I don't agree with that.
5% to other sports, including baseball, is 5%. So it would
be
the same as women's.
I'm pretty sure softball and the rest of everything will take 2.5 of that. You get what I'm saying here?
Yeah, I don't. It's going to be interesting.
You can't tell me softball's getting 0.
No. That's not. They're not. Everyone's getting something, but it's going to be based off how much money you make, how much money you bring in, how much one's created. Like that's. So it's going to be interesting to watch how this plays out, because I know Ohio State does it right.
There are some schools that are already dipping into it. I don't know. I think it's only legal until July 1st, but there's some that are already kind of like
basically already do that. They basically already do that. Ohio State basically does that with their football program. They pretty much show every bit of that, what they got in their football program, which is why they just won a national title. because their roster
Yes.
was like $1 billion. So
I mean, yeah, that's through their NIL too. So
mhm.
they're a separate group. College sports is fun to follow these days, but
It's a mess. It's a mess, man.
it's a total freaking mess. But how do I think that money should be divvied up? Yes, I agree. 75% needs to go to football. Football, I do love the other sports. Absolutely love them. Like I've cried tears of 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 pain and joy because of those other sports. But if I'm being honest, football it matters the most in college sports
Oh
and
yeah,
especially in the
no one's
Southeastern
going to deny that.
Conference.
I don't
I
think any.
want so badly to win a national title in football.
Yeah.
It's like I will cry for a week straight when that happens.
Uh-huh.
But um in regards to the rest of it though, personally I would divvy more money to baseball than women's basketball. Just be
But that's the thing with revenue sharing though, is your women's is probably going to be more because they have more seats. They have more people. They're like, when you come to Lindsey Nelson Stadium, you're only I mean, I guess it evens out because there's more games in baseball, but I don't know how that works though, because it's revenue
I
sharing. Like
mean,
you make the most money, you're going to get the most money. That's
if
the
I'll be honest, TV money, women's basketball does bring in more TV money
yeah,
than baseball. Baseball has, I
because
mean, the wait list for baseball seems like it's astronomical. I mean, and I'm pretty sure I get Lady Ball season tickets tomorrow if I wanted them. But
again, but I'm going to say what I said before we got on here. Lady Vols Arena is twice as big than the baseball stadium. You have a limited amount of
how long is
baseball.
the wait list for baseball?
Huh?
How long
I
is the
don't
season?
I don't know. There's only a certain amount of tickets for baseball. It's not a lot.
If
So it's probably
Tennessee,
going to be a lot higher.
if Tennessee could sell 20,000 season tickets for baseball, I think they could do it.
You could go out and buy football season tickets tomorrow if you wanted to.
They
So
could.
that
Not season tickets.
all I'm saying is when you have a smaller arena, a smaller stadium, you're not going to get as much revenue because it's smaller.
Yeah.
You're going to have less fans attend throughout the year than you would, say 13,000 seats filled every time they play compared to, 3,000. So the revenue is going to be a little bit different. Especially like you said with TV. I agree with the TV thing because it's really hard to find Tennessee men's baseball on actual national TV stations. It's always through an app. So
It's wild that all 3 games were televised this weekend.
But you get what I'm saying.
That's rare.
You get what you get what I'm saying. So, but then you could turn on ESPN, SEC Network, and find women's basketball in there every week. So it's different.
Not always. It's not. It won't all like. Most programs aren't going to dictate this on what exactly brings in the money, though. Like, Indiana's going to dictate a lot of money to basketball because they want to win there, and Duke too. It's not necessarily just about that kind of stuff. It's about it can be based on what you want to happen, like where you want success. Like I think North Carolina will do a lot to basketball. I think Alabama will do more to football. But truth be told, I don't know how much this is going to change anything, if I'm being honest, because this money will be there and it's going to be nice. But also the NIL that's through collectives is still going to be there and still going to be a big turning factor. Like Tony Vitello is really good friends with Larry Pratt. And I think if he calls up Larry Pratt and say, hey, we're trying to get this guy from Tulane, can you help me out? That's still going to be a thing.
Oh yeah.
So
you saw Rick Barnes a couple months ago at the baseball game with the Haslams.
Yeah.
So it goes neck and neck there. So, but like when it comes like what you said, 75% football, if baseball is asking money for a player and football is asking money for a player, and you only have 2 options, I guarantee you the option is going to be football over the baseball. That's just how it works. That's how it's going to work. That's how it's going to work.
This is different though. This is like directly through the university funds.
Yeah, that's
so
that university. Well, we got off a tangent about NIL,
but I will say NIL collectives are still a thing. So Tony can call up a donor and tell him, "Hey, I need this, this, and this,"
Yep.
and that can still happen. So I'm not sure it's like totally different, but
I'll be curious to see how it works out.
I am happy though this is happening for football because and I still think Tennessee needs a football GM or just a GM for all sports
Yes.
because I just I think Tennessee fans pay more for tickets than any fan base. I don't have those numbers in front of me, but I remember we were like top 5, and I haven't paid less since I saw that stat. So I'm assuming we're still up there in terms of paying. Like we get everyone hears about, oh, such a long wait list for season tickets, yada yada yada. Um, so why don't we pay players as much as Oregon, Texas, Ohio State,
I don't know, man.
uh, Georgia? I think we should. I really think.
I think that's what the article means from Adam Sparks about where everything's cool, and it's not going to be that way anymore because of the revenue share.
I gotta say though, I don't know. I don't think it's gonna.
I don't know. We'll see. I don't know how it's going to work out. I have no idea.
Okay, we're talking about 5 sports here. Let's not act like we're talking about swimming. We're not.
Rowing or something.
We're not. We're not. We don't know a thing there. No one does. I mean, surely somebody does, but no one. No normal. Your run of the mill Tennessee fan is gonna know much about that kind of stuff. Okay. Let's look at this way. I don't think it's going to affect basketball that much because I think we still get a lot of help from the donors. Actually, we just got more NIL help than we ever have under Rick Barnes. This is going to be like the highest paid roster we've ever had. Rick Barnes made sure of that. Rick Barnes has embraced the portal and embraced NIL better than anybody in his age range has ever has done. I mean, the guy's knocked it out of the park there. So basketball, I think it'll be fine and be about the same. Football, I do think football can get a boost from this because I don't think we've done a bad job with getting NIL for players, for football players, but
I think it's going to help football the most.
I think we could have done a better job. Like Carnell Tate should be a Tennessee Volunteer if we're doing it right with NIL.
Yeah. I think we need to do the most in football. I agree. I think it could have benefit football the most, what you just said. And it needs to because we are losing players to NIL because we can't match or whatever, like the Ohio States, the Oregons. People are going there because of that. So it's just the new day, the new era, the new everything. So that's how it is. I'm curious to see how it'll go. But
and baseball, I mean, baseball will get what they get. But I think for baseball, still a big factor will be the collectives and everything outside of that because what Tony does well is relationship stuff. Like people just like the donors like being friends with Tony Vitello. And when Tony V calls you up and says, "Hey man, can I get some help here?" For these billionaires who, just like being friends with Tony V, they'll help them out.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we'll see July 1st, see how that plays out. But anyway, we got Belmont tomorrow for our midweek
Senior day.
Senior day. Yeah.
Hunter Hensley, what of all, man.
Hunter Hensley, yeah, amazing. And then we got, of course, Arkansas on the road.
Can you name another senior besides Hunter Hensley? I'm trying to think of.
Fisher a senior?
Is he a senior? I think he's a junior technically.
I don't know. I don't really care honestly to go through the roster and name seniors. But
can we back this?
Last question: do we think we're soaring 30+ on UGA this year with Joey Austin?
Hell yeah!
Oh my god,
Joey's on campus. Joey going to class. Joey throwing football. Joey going to light the dogs up.
All right, man. It's been fun arguing with you. So I'm getting off of here.
You don't sound like
it's been a good podcast, but
you don't sound like you had much fun at all, actually.
Nah. Sometimes you just get tired of talking about the same things over and over again. But I now know how sports talk feels. Sports talk shows on the radio feel in the summertime when they literally have nothing to talk about. And you turn on the sports radio every single day instead of talking about the same effing thing that they were
I
5
don't
days
know, man.
ago.
We got a lot. I don't know, man. Baseball teams, a whole drama right now.
Yeah. All right. Well, Rhonda says thank y'all for the show. Thanks for tuning in, Rhonda. You're always a big listener. A lot of comments. Sorry I didn't get to some of you guys. But anyways, good night. God bless. Go Balls. We'll do it again soon. Peace out, my friends. Bye-bye.